Hey guys, welcome back to H1Z1 Just Survive Badwater Canyon on the test server, and we're going to be going over some of the basics today. Once you've sold enough loot, earning 2, 3, or 4,000 golden eagle coins, you're ready to purchase a plot with these half-built walls and cinder blocks with rebarb going through the center. Once it's purchased, the slab will become completely flat and the walls with the rebarb going through it will disappear. Then you're ready to put down your stash. You can leave your stash on the slab unattended because it can only be accessed via permission. Now you're ready to grab a crowbar and begin getting your steel and screws to make your furnace. I have to admit I like the new animation for this harvesting process. You'll know you're completed once the hood pops and the tailgate drops off. The same will be for cars, and or you can just wait till you do a swing like that to know you're done. Along with the steels and screws you're harvesting here, you will need to steel with zinc to make your nails. Right now, I would highly recommend that you guys gather as much material as you can first. The stash will hold quite a bit before you start building because there is a current exploit on PvE that will allow players to raid your base. So make sure you have a decent amount of materials so that you can secure the base with walls and a ceiling before you proceed with making too many of your placeables. Once you find a pickaxe in the game, you're now ready to collect your zinc. You'll also get stone and copper. We'll cover that later. So basically, you're going to stand next to the rock and swing downward. So you're going to kind of want to look down on the rock, or if you want, you can climb on top of the rocks to avoid zombies and such. And once you've completed it, it will break down into these small sections. Now you're ready to start collecting wood. I would recommend about 150 wood, 50 steel, and 50 zinc before you place down your furnace, because you're going to want to be able to add some level of protection for those placeables. Your furnace will require 20 steel and 10 screws to complete and can be built by proxy, so if you have the materials in your stash, you'll be able to build it standing next to the stash. Once your furnace is completed, you're ready to start cooking your zinc and your steel. 1 zinc and 1 steel will produce 2 nails. You're welcome to make as much material as you like, because you're going to want to make sure that you get your walls up and your roof up to protect your placeables. Near your furnace, but particularly next to your stash, you're now ready to make your workbench with 20 wood, 3 steel, and 8 nails. In this example, I'm placing the workbench next to a storage container. Of course, you can save materials by just simply using your stash, because you are going to want to make your walls and ceiling for protection. Now that you have your furnace and your workbench completed, now you're ready to start building your walls, which require 15 wood and 8 nails. So now you can see why you're going to want a significant amount of materials before you start placing your items down. And as you can see here, you're able to flip, rotate, and segment your walls however you like. If you do go with a window segment, make sure that you make a shutter and keep it closed until this exploit can be corrected. Roofing tiles require that they be placed next to a wall, or as we look to the right, they will require a support. So you're going to want to be mindful of how this is placed, because as you can see over here in our makeshift room, after we discovered the exploit, you'll be left with a hole in your ceiling. On PvP, but for this instance, particularly on PvE, you can now see the raid timer has been activated in the top right-hand corner. There's battle music, horns, and even flares that shoot off. Java was kind enough to be our participant raider. She can access both the storage containers and stash, but is unable to access the doors, which then would require her to actually break the doors down to get to our interior supplies. We've not tested whether a PvE raider can be harmed by a PvE player who owns the base. However, we believe the gas and other effects may. We have determined that you cannot harm a player that is raiding another base that isn't yours. After the 10 minutes, you get a 30-second timer with a 10-second warning countdown, letting the raiders know that they have 10 seconds to get out of the base. After the 10-second countdown, the base is then flooded with gas. So as you see here, we're now being gassed. It's not affecting me. I have a mask, plus I'm the owner. Everything around the base, including the zombies, were all killed. It may be fair to say that the gas and the ejection timer will probably affect PvE players. However, they do have 10 minutes of time to be able to go through your stuff, so you're going to want to protect it as best you can. I do empathize with both the PvE and PvP players that are rated because the wood at this time early in the game is not that durable and easy to break through. If your base is being raided, you will see these signal flares from distance, or if there is an aggressor in the area. And we've also discovered that sometimes they just go off because they just go off. After 10 minutes, gassing and ejection, your base goes into shielding mode. This is to allow for repair of the damaged items and prevent people from further damaging your base and or accessing your containers. If you guys are wondering, there is no longer discovery in the game. Everything on the craftable list is what you can make. You simply have to go and find the material. Now, finding material or current loot that you find may or may not be in the crafting list at this time, or you may not be able to craft that particular item at this time. So just hang on to your materials and realize that this is the first release and we'll probably get additional recipes in time. There is still a lot to learn about the game, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to leave those in the comments section below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a frequent visitor, I encourage you both to click on that watermark in the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Our videos are now on VidMe. So if you have a VidMe account, be sure you give me a follow on there. That way on YouTube and VidMe, you'll have all the latest information and updates out of H1Z1 and Daybreak.